Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Sorry for the late start. I was having an issue with the connection. This is your internationally recognized, Harvard-educated, board-certified dermatologist, Dr. Dina coming you today with your skin win from Dr. Dina. This is a program where I use my expertise to help you win with your skin, hair, and nail issues. And today we're going to be talking about the secrets of patients who successfully cleared their acne. So, invite your friends in, like, comment, let me know you're there if you're there, and we will get started. And what made me decide to do this topic today is that I saw a report online about pre-existing conditions, and it was the most common pre-existing conditions. And I was expecting to see things like, hypertension, diabetes, but, it was very interesting that they included in that acne. And, I believe acne was actually ranked number 1, the most common pre-existing condition in healthcare. And I believe that, as a dermatologist, it's pretty obvious to me that it is. It's extremely common. Probably the majority of people at some time in their life have suffered with acne. And I know a lot of people are very dismissive of acne and its impact on health and healthcare and life. But, we know differently in dermatology, those of us who treat acne. So I was thinking, a lot of people come in to see me who are very frustrated because they've been struggling with their acne for years. Sometimes I'm the first dermatologist they've ever seen or the first doctor they've ever seen for it. And sometimes they've been to many, many doctors. And it's the people who've been to many doctors who tend to be the most frustrated with the fact that their skin still hasn't cleared up. And, as much as one would like to say that, I'm special, really a lot of it is that it's their attitude. There's certain things about patients who tend to have a harder time getting their face cleared, that there are things that they can change, and if they change, they'd get different results. Because often I'm using the same medicines that their doctors were using before, getting different results, but that's because I work with them a lot on mindset. And, I'm going to go through some of the differences between the people who tend to get the good results fast, the people you look at and say, I want what she has, or I want what he has. They went to the doctor and their face is suddenly clear and all their coworkers are noticing and they're like, what did you do? Where did you go? I'm going to tell you some of the things about those people because, I can tell when they first come in who's going to take longer to clear up and who's going to get results more quickly. So number 1, patients who clear up their skin tend to have an optimistic mindset. Those are people who come in and they actually believe it's possible that their skin can clear up. And, people have different opinions and beliefs about the spirituality and the thoughts of medicine and the mindset of health and intention and all that. But I'd say that, one of the big differences is that people who actually believe that they're going to get results make different decisions and behave differently and follow instructions differently than people who don't. If you're going to use a medicine and you don't believe it's going to work for you, you probably aren't going to use it correctly. You're probably not listening the same way as someone who really believes something's going to work for them and they give it their focused attention, they use it as instructed, and they will work with any imperfections it has, because nothing is perfect. So number 1, I know if someone comes in and says nothing works for me, one of the first things before I prescribe anything or do anything to them is that we have to have a discussion about that. And I usually say to people who say that, well, if that's what you believe, then you're probably right. So have an optimistic mindset if you want to clear your face. Okay? Number 2, be optimistic, but also be accepting. Acne is, in fact, a chronic recurrent condition. It's something where the hair follicles can get clogged, and it can set off, a chain of events that create all different types of lesions, and your hair follicles are always moving. So, at a certain time in your life, you could be fine, and then all of a sudden you start breaking out. You can have successfully cleared your acne, but get a pimple at some point. So be accepting. Some people feel like if they use something for a week and their face isn't clear, or their face is getting better, but they got one new pimple, that their medicine's not working, and then they stop using it and stop following instructions, and they get sort of caught up in this unaccepting mindset that, everything is an instant in life. So, and also that maybe they cleared up their acne, but maybe 6 months later they're starting to break out again for a different reason, or the same reason, but it's happening again, and that maybe they had stopped using their medicine, and that maybe they have to start using it again. Or some people have more severe acne, and even with whatever lifestyle change they hope is going to make a difference, or whatever else they're doing, when they stop using their medicine, they continue to break out, and they don't like the fact that they have to keep applying this cream or whatever it is that they're using in order to have their face stay clear. And the thing is, if it's working, and as long as it's not harming you and it's not very inconvenient, sometimes for some people you have to keep using something in order to keep your face clear. So if having your face break out bothers you enough and using the cream is not that much of an inconvenience, sometimes you just use it every day and you have that nice clear skin, even though you're dependent on it at the moment to have your skin look that way. Some of the people that you're envying, that's what they're doing. They're applying their cream every day and their skin is clear, and you're jealous, but they're just doing the work. That's what they require, and they accept that. So having an accepting mindset helps in getting your face clear. Number 3, patients who tend to get better results tend to be a little snobbier about from whom they take advice. With the internet and everyone thinking they're an expert, everyone has a suggestion, a plan, their recommendation for you as to how to clear your skin, and it can get very confusing. And I find that a lot of people who, they may come see me, I'm a board certified dermatologist, we are the most expert in managing acne, they've spent money, we've made a plan, and then they come back and they haven't executed it because somebody, who are they, on the internet told them, that this works better, or they shouldn't do that, or some friend who isn't necessarily an expert or knowledgeable says, well, I do this and I don't have acne. That person may not have acne. They may do all the things that would otherwise make someone else break out, and they would never break out because that's their skin, and that's how their skin is. They don't follow the plan that was made to clear up their face, and so they're not getting results. So you have to be a little bit more snobby, particular, discriminating, particularly in this world where we have access to so much information, in order to not get your plan derailed so that you can get results. Focus. Be particular. Have some standards. Number 4, secret number 4 of people who are able to clear their skin of acne is that they tend to understand their uniqueness and their lack of uniqueness. And what I mean by that is, you may know someone else who did something in particular and they don't have acne anymore and their face is clear. Or you just see someone whose face is clear and you say, well, wow, they just wash their face with apple cider vinegar, so that must work. And you have to understand that you're not them. Acne is a disease where there can be many things that contribute to someone having acne. So what you care about is what's contributing to you having acne. Why do you have acne? Some people, it might be hormonal, genetic, it could be dietary, it could be stress, it could be something that they're putting on their skin, and how severe it is. It's different for different people. But when you come in to treat yourself, focus on yourself, mind your business. And, you know, you are different than them. At the same time, if you have this attitude that you use a certain medicine and it's not going to work for you, back to number one, is that optimistic mindset. Some people think that they're so different, they're special. You know, everyone over cherishes this idea of being special. Sometimes you don't want to be special. Sometimes you want to be like most people who do respond to something, and then they don't execute their acne treatment regimen correctly and consistently, and so they don't get the great results that they are seeing somebody else getting. So understand how you are unique and not unique, and pick the right way to be unique and mind your business, and you'll get better results in clearing up your face. Number 5, people who clear their skin, you know, when they have acne, tend to be able to stick with a plan. Most of the treatments are not overnight. There are procedures we can do where you can get a quick fix results, like we inject acne, we can extract lesions and they come out. That's not preventing something new from happening. We could do a chemical peel, which gives you very nice quick results sometimes, but again, that's not a lasting effect. It's a quick fix. You still have to use your medicine. You have to stick with your plan and understand how long something is going to take. That's not, you know, I've had patients who come in and they've been on the same medicine for like 3 years. Well, maybe if it's taken 3 years, then that's not working. But if it's just been 2 weeks, then, you know, maybe you haven't given it enough time. Most acne medications and treatments have been studied for 12 weeks, and that's kind of an arbitrary thing, but it's kind of a gold standard of when we expect to see a result and how things are measured. So I like that as a nice rule of thumb. So when I have people come in, I see them back, and I know different people are different, and you monitor people for, you know, for a variety of reasons. I see them back at 1 month, and if things are going fine and they're tolerating what we're doing, I'd see them back 2 months after that. Some people see people for the first time in 6 weeks. That doesn't work for me, because even though you wouldn't necessarily expect to see that much of a change maybe before that, people can have problems and understanding. So after practicing several years, I realize I have to see people more frequently. If people are very severe and they're requiring procedures, there may be a change to the frequency, but it's not going to happen instantly. And one analogy I like to make for my patients, in New York, in Manhattan, you know, the city is very much on a grid. And so, you know, in some parts of the city, you know, the streets are just numbered. So my office is between 13th and 14th Street. And so I say to people who come back in, you know, I tell them to follow up in a month. They're back in a week complaining that the medicine isn't working. And I say to them, if you're on 14th Street and you're asking me how to get to 20th Street, and I told you it was 6 blocks north, and you walked to 16th Street, 2 blocks away, and came back and told me that you never made it to 20th Street and it's not working, what would you say? And, you know, I also compare it to flying from New York City to LA, which takes about 5-6 hours. You know, if you were on a plane and 2 hours had passed and you weren't yet in LA after leaving JFK, you know, would you ask the pilot to land, you know, and find an alternative way to get there? I mean, we'd think that's ridiculous. So you have to think about that in terms of our impatience. You have to make a plan and work the plan. And, you know, yes, we want to be clear yesterday, but that's not realistic. So stick with your plan, understand your plan, understand how long you should expect things to happen before you veer off on another course. Okay? The number 6 is that people who clear their skin don't cheat on their plan. And what I mean by cheating on the plan is that a lot of times, you know, people will get distracted. You know, acne is a very common thing. It's very lucrative. So everybody, you know, has a product, another treatment, makeup. You'll walk into the drugstore to buy some water, a bottle of water, and then you'll walk by the skincare line and they'll have all these skincare items that are for acne prone skin or acne treatments, or you'll watch television and you'll see an infomercial for something where someone has an acne score, or maybe you went to a makeup store to get some lipstick and they're selling you other things to treat acne. It's for people who have acne. And you start using these things, or you don't really have faith that your acne medicine is going to work, so you think you're going to supplement what the doctor did, and you're going to add this scrub and this mask, but when you come back to your visit, you don't disclose that immediately, and you start to complain that, oh, the medicine is irritating me and I'd like an alternative. Or, oh, the medicine is making my acne worse and I'd like an alternative. Well, again, when you make a plan, the understanding is that you're following the plan, and when you add anything to it, it does impact the efficacy, how well the medicine is going to work, and whether or not you're going to get side effects. So you don't want to cheat on your plan. Like, for example, if your doctor gives you a retinoid, that would be something like tazarotene, adapalene, tretinoin, and then you start using a scrub, of course you're not going to be able to tolerate it. The retinoids make your skin a little bit more fragile. So if you use a scrub, you're actually scratching your skin off and you're going to have problems. That could even make your acne worse. Or maybe you bought a salicylic acid wash, an acne wash in the pharmacy, when your doctor told you to use a plain wash. If you use a wash that has salicylic acid in it, then you're adding another drug, and that may be a problem for what your doctor gave you and cause irritation, so you don't want to do that. So don't cheat on your regimen, don't cheat yourself, because you're not getting results, or it's delaying your results or creating an additional problem. And so our final secret of patients who manage to clear their skin for acne is that they have a mindset and an attitude of gratitude. So again, it's a process. It takes a minute. So they are able to appreciate, maybe in a couple of weeks, that maybe their face is not completely clear, but it's better. So maybe they still have pimples, but they don't have any new pimples. Or maybe all their acne lesions have resolved, but they just have post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and that's just a sign that they're getting better, and those are just the marks left over if you have a certain skin color. Like people with darker skin tend to get post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation or blemishes where they used to have the acne. And if that's all you have, even though you want to get rid of that and that's being addressed, that the acne treatment is actually working, and you be grateful that it's working and keep using it. And basically, as you do that, before you know it, your face is clear. So that was my Facebook Live for today. Secrets of patients who manage to clear their skin for acne. This is your Skin Win with Dr. Dina. I am your internationally recognized, Harvard-Yale educated, board-certified dermatologist coming to you live from New York City. If you got value from this broadcast, please like it, share it with your friends, and follow me on social media at Dr. Dina Derm, and on this Facebook page at Dina Strawn MD. If you are having trouble with your acne and you can come into my office in New York City, please give us a call at 212-627-1004, extension 1. We'd love to help you. We treat adults with acne and children with acne every day. And you can also visit us at www.aglowdermatology.com, and you can contact us using the contact form and tell us when you'd like to come in. If you are not able to reach my office in New York City, but you live in New York State, you can go to our website, aglowdermatology.com, and you can start a virtual visit. We have a concierge virtual visit service, and that's great, particularly for facial acne, and we can treat you that way. And if you have questions, contact us. Put your comments down there in the comments, and join us next time. Goodbye, and have a beautiful Wednesday.